And it's important to remember that some of the people who are there were sold to the United States because there was just a general bounty out for accused Al Qaeda members and accused Taliban members at the beginning of the war in Afghanistan, and so some of the people were just picked up and sold off for a bounty. And to put yourself in the shoes of someone like that, it's hard to imagine a more nightmarish situation, being abducted and then held like that.
Let me just clarify for people what you're talking about. That in the wake of 9/11 and our invasion of Afghanistan, there was a bounty basically put out. You had villagers basically come in if they're having some dispute with their neighbor about property, or they have had a long-time feud with this guy because he's a jerk. They went in and told U.S. officials, that guy is associated with Al Qaeda, and pay me my money. They took this guy away whose one issue may have just been not getting along with the first guy who went in to claim that he's Al Qaeda. And then 11 years later, the guy's being force-fed through a tube because he hasn't been able to see his family for 11 years. I mean, this is just, it's just stunning. And now, let me ask you this. From a political standpoint, okay, there's obviously some political implications. And I'm talking about sort of just the most mundane political implications of having Chuck Hagel issue some type of national security directive that we can use any means necessary under the authorization of military force, keeping prisoners in Guantanamo who have clearly done nothing, in some way implicates the war on terror or whatever you want to call it. And so we have issued funds to get rid of these people, to send them to Yemen, to send them back to Great Britain, to send them to China, wherever it is. What do you think the political calculation here is from the Obama administration? I mean, how much of a price do they think they're going to pay at this point? So much so that they've even gotten rid of the apparatus to figure out how to mechanically do this in terms of getting these prisoners, repatriating these prisoners.
Well, I think, unfortunately, the calculus that the Obama administration has made is that it is that they face less risk by keeping the prison open and by not even attempting to create the illusion of closing it. And I think that there are very few, if any, constituencies in the United States that have less political power than accused terrorists, and especially accused terrorists being held in Guantanamo Bay. And I think that the administration, it seems to me that they think that this either will pass or that they can pass off the political blame to GOP obstructionism. And the fact that they think they can do that, whether or not it's right, I think really goes to show how radical how radical U.S. politics have become, and how fully the Obama administration has embraced and really expanded the Bush era thinking on the so-called war on terror.
Well, what's also stunning about their closing down that part, that office in the State Department that was tasked with sort of figuring out the operational details of repatriating these, is that they don't even feel it's important enough to pretend that President Obama is going to do this in his lame duck session. right? I mean, if he doesn't want to deal with the politics of this, fine. He'll just authorize this on 2013, in December of 2013. He'll authorize it. He'll take it off the table. There won't be a problem for his, he'll show some sympathy for that president who follows him and somehow deal with this situation. They don't even need to pretend that's what they're going to do. I don't know. It's just stunning to me. Let's turn just for a moment to the commissions, because that's what you've been following. There was a report this past week that defense attorneys were claiming, and apparently the Pentagon acknowledged, but they said it was just a mistake, that their defense documents and emails were being accessed, let's say, by somebody. Tell us what you know on that front.
So late in the day on Wednesday of last week, Air Force Colonel Mayberry, who is the chief defense counsel, essentially one of the top Guantanamo Bay defense attorneys, issued an order to all of the attorneys and staff who work on the defense in these cases, that they were barred from using the DoD email system for privileged information, because this incredibly large cache of emails had been, again, in the Pentagon's telling of it, inadvertently turned over to the prosecution side after the prosecution had requested documents about an appeal for another case, and whether it was just sort of bureaucratic bumbling or something more nefarious, it's total speculation. But at the end of the day, the prosecution had at least some access to some defense emails. Now, what the Pentagon says is that they only had access to the to line and the from line. But this is the kind of situation where the spokespeople are trying to mitigate what happened, because it sounds so bad. But even if you take even if you take them at their word, you still have a situation where the defense can't ensure the protection of their privileged information between the attorneys and their clients, and attorneys are bound by their professional ethics to maintain that privilege and that relationship. So it would be improper and could result in professional sanctions or worse if they continued to use emails to send emails when they couldn't ensure that wouldn't eventually be turned over to the prosecution, or even the fact that it could be turned over in any capacity seems to mean that the defense thinks that they can't, that their email and their communication isn't secure. And in a somewhat related manner, it's not entirely clear how much work, but a huge amount of work. Some people are saying 7 gigabytes. One person I talked to said 3 or 4 weeks worth of work had disappeared from Pentagon servers. And again, it seems like that could have been an IT glitch or something. But the end result is that there was a huge amount of work, motions, briefs, and responses, etc., that was lost because of this probable error. And again, this is a situation where these military commissions are going so slowly. They move at a snail's pace. And there was actually supposed to be one happening this week for a guy named Al-Nashiri, who is the accused plotters in the USS Cole bombing in Yemen in 2000. His defense attorney filed an emergency motion to pause the commission because he wasn't able to use the DoD computer system, essentially. And the judge, Judge James Pohl, who is a military judge, granted that abatement, as they call it. And the attorneys for the 9/11 trial that's supposed to be happening next week, which I'm scheduled to go down, filed their own emergency motion that was handwritten to sort of dramatize the fact that they couldn't use their computers. The judge has yet to rule on that, so it's unclear if there is going to be a commission next week or not. But even when the commissions do happen, they move incredibly slowly. Certainly, much more slowly than a lot of observers expect they would move if they were happening in a normal civilian Article III court.
So John, if we were to stipulate and grant the Pentagon's version of events, there has been a massive failure to secure privileged correspondence between defense attorneys and amongst defense attorneys and clients. There's been a massive failure to protect privileged materials that have been developed by the defense for the defense. Just a mistake, but it has now provided a chilling effect on the defense attorney's ability to work and to function. So in the best case scenario, the Pentagon can't even protect some of the most sensitive material that they're supposed to protect, despite the billions of dollars that they supposedly receive, I guess, for technology. This is to grant them this. All right, I'm trying to give them the best interpretation, and they have completely made what is a really sort of a joke of these commissions even more of a joke. I mean, is that a fair assessment?
I mean, I think that you're definitely right to say that even under the best case scenario, with what the Pentagon says, that they come out of this looking very, very bad. And again,
the part of me the part of me that wasn't born yesterday says there's a pretty good chance that they saw a little more than they're leading on.
It's certainly possible, and as this issue faces closer scrutiny, we may learn more about it. But this also comes after the intrusion of what everyone basically agrees is the CIA into one of the commissions that happened at the end of January, when there's a kill switch essentially for the media feed, which is on a 40-second delay. So what happens in the courtroom gets pumped to the media 40 seconds afterwards, sort of like if somebody were to swear on live television, it's on a 7-second delay. This is a 40-second delay. They say the government says to protect national security. And in late January, the kill switch was hit by somebody other than the judge, and that surprised the defense attorneys and seemed to surprise the judge. And it turned out over the course of the week, no one will say this officially, but everyone will say it unofficially, that the CIA killed the switch. And the judge was furious, and he said that any other outside agencies who have the ability to turn the media feed off, that needs to be dismantled. And so you had the judge, take action to fix this one immediate problem, but there was a kind of problem that I don't think anyone had even considered. So you get into this kind of Rumsfeldian, you don't even know what you don't know situation with the military commissions, and now with this latest inability to protect privileged information, there are perhaps unsurprisingly rampant fears of surveillance among defense attorneys, and this just goes even more. It heightens those fears, I think, considerably.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the report, John. It's just so disturbing. And, I don't know what's more disturbing about this. The total silence in Congress, the total silence from the Obama administration, or the fact that it seems that the vast, vast, vast majority of Americans don't care. It's just out of sight, out of mind. And this is not, this is not even to mention sort of the implications of the entire system that has been set up to deal with these people, aside from the fact that even the system itself is just a joke, because they'd keep all of the people in there forever if they didn't have the meager amount of ability they have to prosecute some of them under what is sort of a increasingly clear, like if not a kangaroo court, whatever is somewhere between a legitimate court and kangaroo court in terms of these proceedings, because it really is a shame. But John, I appreciate your coverage of this, and you're coming on to talk to us about it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.